Hey everyone, before we dive into this story, please hit that subscribe button to join our community for more epic tales like this one. I'm Jessica, and I want you to imagine this scene. Halloween evening, the moon glowing bright, pumpkins flickering on every doorstep, and your older brother standing at your door with three boisterous kids dressed as superheroes. But this time, when he rings the bell, a stranger opens the door, their face etched with confusion. That moment, it was worth every Halloween he'd taken from me for the last decade. Let's backtrack so you can truly grasp how delicious that moment felt. Halloween was once my kingdom. It was the one night each year that felt entirely mine, a chance to become anyone I dreamed of under the crisp autumn sky. In high school, I'd race through neighborhoods with friends, our laughter echoing as we filled pillowcases with candy until they nearly split. The scent of damp leaves and warm pumpkin carvings, those were my earliest perfumes, bottled in memory. Then adulthood crept in. Work, bills, responsibilities, they dulled the magic. Not because I'd outgrown Halloween, but because it stopped being mine. It became my brother Ryan's yearly ticket to free childcare. Ryan, my charismatic but self-absorbed older brother, married his college love, Sarah, right after they graduated. By the time I was 25, they had three kids faster than you can say mortgage payment. There was Lily 8, Ethan 6, and little Ava, for adorable, chaotic, and bursting with endless curiosity. Don't misunderstand me, I love those kids. Their gap-toothed smiles and tiny hands clutching candy like gold, pure joy. But for nearly 10 years, every October 31st, they became my responsibility instead of Ryan's. It began as a one-off favor their first Halloween as parents. They wanted a night out, just one costume party with friends. Sarah's voice trembled when she asked, Just this once? We haven't had a night out in ages. How could I refuse? I was the fun aunt, the single one, the one with no plans. So I said yes, but just this once turned into, You're so great with them, Jess, and you're free anyway. Over time, their tone shifted. It wasn't a question anymore. It was an expectation. Every year, 3 days before Halloween, my phone would ring with the same message. Jess, we'll bring the kids over around 6. Our party starts at 7. No, are you free, or could you help? Just a command, as certain as the falling leaves. If I dared push back, Ryan's guilt trip slid in like clockwork. Come on, Jess, you don't have kids. What's so important? Watching movies alone. Or the worst, the kids love you. Don't be that aunt. He always made me feel like wanting my own life was selfish. To everyone else, he painted me as the eager babysitter. At family gatherings, Ryan would boast about how he and Sarah balanced parenting and fun so well, casting himself as the ultimate dad. Meanwhile, I was the ever-available sister who loved helping out. Our parents, now retired in Florida chasing golf and early dinners, didn't help. Jess, you're so lucky to have those kids nearby, Mom would say breezily over the phone. Ryan worked so hard, and you love Halloween anyway. Lucky? Each call left me simmering with resentment. But I kept showing up for Lily's fairy wings, Ethan's pirate hat, Ava's candy-fueled giggles. I couldn't bear to dim the spark in their eyes, even if it meant dreading my role as their unpaid nanny. Resentment, though, is like a soda bottle under pressure. Eventually, it pops. This Halloween, everything changed. For the first time in years, I had plans, real ones. I'd met someone who got my Halloween obsession, Lucas. After 8 months together, he matched my excitement, costume for costume. He was going as a vampire lord, complete with a velvet cape and silver fangs. I'd spent weeks crafting an emerald green witch dress, beads glinting like stars. We had tickets to a Harvest Moon masquerade downtown. Live jazz, fancy cocktails, chandeliers. It was our night. Lucas watched me sew, grinning every time I pricked my finger. I've never met anyone this thrilled for a holiday, he said. That's because no one's ever let me be, I replied. Then, 3 days before Halloween, my phone glowed with Ryan's name. My stomach dropped before I even answered. Hey, Jess, he said, his voice lazy but cheerful, the kind that always spelled trouble. You're set for Halloween, right? Sarah got us tickets to this amazing masquerade downtown. We'll drop the kids off at 6. I froze, staring at my spreadsheet. Ryan, I have plans this year. I'm sorry, but He laughed. Not a kind laugh, a mocking one. Plans? You? Jess, don't be dramatic. It's one night. It's not one night, Ryan. It's every Halloween for 8 years. I have tickets. Lucas and I are going to... He cut me off, voice dripping with fake amusement. Oh, this new boyfriend, right? Bring him along. The kids love meeting new people. Easy fix. My throat tightened. Ryan, it's not that simple. I'm not free. I made plans. He snorted. Jess, you think you're busy, but you don't have real responsibilities. We've already told people we're going. Sarah bought a dress. You can't back out now. I'm not backing out, I said, gripping my phone. You never even asked me. His tone sharpened. Because you always say yes. What's the big deal? It's not like you've got kids to worry about. And honestly, the kids prefer you. You make Halloween a whole thing. You love it more than we do. That hit like a slap. He was twisting my passion into a flaw, using it to justify his entitlement. Ryan, I said slowly, please, just this once, can you find someone else? Maybe Sarah's friend Lisa. He interrupted. Are you seriously making this hard? Mom and Dad always said you should do more for family. We can't take 3 kids to a masquerade. Come on. There was the family guilt bomb, his go-to when logic failed. But this time it didn't land. Instead of guilt, I felt clarity, sharp and cold. You're right, I said, voice calm as ice. I'll handle it. He exhaled, smug. Knew you'd come through. We'll drop them off at 6. Perfect, I said and hung up. But I wasn't agreeing. I was plotting. As soon as my phone hit the desk, my pulse raced, not with anxiety, but with purpose. For once, I wasn't bending my life to fit Ryan's demands. I was going to unravel them. By that afternoon, I had a notebook scrawled with ideas, lists, allies, and one bold goal at the top: make Ryan learn his lesson. The next morning, I called in sick and got to work. Step 1. Find a babysitter Ryan couldn't argue with. I called Maria from accounting, the office's social hub who knew everyone. Maria, I said casually, your daughter Emily's studying education, right? Maria lit up. Yeah, she's in her practicum. Why? I grinned. I've got the perfect gig for her. Halloween night babysitting. Maria had mentioned Emily needed extra cash from babysitting. When I explained, carefully omitting the revenge angle, Maria was all in. Emily's great with kids, she said. She's been babysitting since she was 14, and she's CPR certified. Your brother's kids are in good hands. I offered Emily $150 for the evening. Generous for a few hours, but worth it for my freedom. We met at a cafe, where I handed over my spare key and walked her through the kids' routines: pajamas, snacks, bedtimes, emergency contacts. Emily was sharp, asking smart questions and jotting notes. Just so we're clear, I told her, Ryan doesn't know you're coming. He expects me. Introduce yourself as the babysitter I hired. If he won't leave the kids, that's his call. He can take them or cancel his plans. Don't let him pressure you. Emily nodded, all business. Got it. And you'll be at the masquerade. That's the plan, I said, buzzing with excitement. Next, I booked Lucas and me a hotel room near the Whitmore Hotel, where the masquerade was. We'd stay the night, order breakfast in bed, and turn it into a romantic weekend. On Halloween, I prepared like it was a royal event. I soaked in a lavender bath, did my makeup with precision, and styled my hair in an intricate updo to match my witch gown. When I slipped into the dress, beads shimmering, I felt transformed, powerful, free. Lucas arrived at 4, his vampire costume making him look dashing. You're stunning, he said, eyes wide. Ready for this? More ready than I've ever been, I answered. We drove downtown, checked into the hotel, and dined at a cozy bistro before heading to the masquerade. My phone stayed quiet, no frantic calls from Ryan, no guilt trips from Sarah, just pure freedom. At 6 p.m., as Lucas and I sipped champagne in our hotel room, perfecting our costumes, Ryan was at my apartment door with 3 hyped-up, candy-hungry kids. Instead of finding his dependable sister, he met Emily. I wish I'd seen Ryan's face when Emily answered. Per her text, it went like this. Hi, you must be Ryan. I'm Emily, the babysitter Jessica hired. Ryan froze for 10 seconds, his brain scrambling. Lily, Ethan, and Ava tugged at him, eager to trick or treat, while he gaped at this stranger. Where's Jessica? He stammered. She had plans, so she hired me, Emily said. She left instructions and my contact info. You can leave the kids with me, or take them to your party if you prefer. This is absurd, Ryan muttered, dialing my number. I didn't pick up. Lucas and I were dancing to jazz under chandeliers, surrounded by masked couples. My phone was on silent, tucked away where it belonged. Ryan called 4 more times, then texted, Jess, answer your phone. This isn't funny. Where are you? The kids are upset. That last text almost got me, but then I remembered 8 years of being dismissed. I slipped my phone back into my purse. Emily texted that Ryan stood in my hallway for 15 minutes, calling Sarah to weigh their options. Skip the party, leave the kids with Emily, or, the worst choice, take them to the masquerade. He chose the last. Emily texted at 8 p.m. He took them with him. Unbelievable. Have fun. And I did. The Harvest Moon Masquerade was a dream. Black and gold decor. Candles everywhere, guests like they'd walked out of a Gothic novel. Lucas and I danced until my feet ached, savored desserts, and snapped photos by an ornate mirror that made us look magical. For the first time in years, I was Jessica again. Not Ryan's backup plan, but a woman who deserved joy. Meanwhile, Ryan's night was crashing. I heard later from Sarah's horrified texts and gossip from friends at the party. Lily, Ethan, and Ava arrived in full Halloween gear. Lily as a fairy, Ethan as a superhero, Ava as a tiny witch, her costume sticky with candy. The kids were thrilled at first, but the fancy adult party wasn't for them. The music was loud, there were no other kids, and the vibe was all wrong for children who should have been trick-or-treating. Within an hour, Ethan knocked over a tray of champagne flutes trying to show off his cape moves. Ava cried, wanting to go home for Halloween movies. Lily argued with a guest who called her costume too childish. By 9 p.m., all 3 were melting down in the hotel bathroom while Sarah tried to soothe them, and Ryan left angry voicemails for me. The final blow. Ethan threw up in the hotel lobby. Too much candy, party food, and stress from being dragged to an adult event. Security asked them to leave. Ryan and Sarah, in their fancy costumes, carried 3 crying kids through the lobby as guests whispered. Their romantic night ended before 10, while Lucas and I danced on. The next morning, Ryan called at 7 a.m., furious. Jessica, what was that? You embarrassed us. Sarah's devastated. The kids are upset, and we looked like fools. Good morning, Ryan, I said, sipping coffee in my hotel room as Lucas slept. I knew your party was important, just like my plans were. I hired a qualified babysitter and gave you options. You chose to drag 3 kids to an adult event. That babysitter was a stranger, he snapped. We couldn't leave our kids with some random girl. Her name's Emily, I said. She's studying education, CPR certified, with references. You were too mad about losing control to make a smart choice. Sarah grabbed the phone. Jess, how could you do this to family? We trusted you. You trusted I'd always say yes, I replied. You thought my time didn't matter, that I existed to fix your problems. That trust was wrong. The call turned into shouting. Ryan called me selfish. Sarah cried about their ruined night. But their guilt trips didn't touch me. Mom called later, her voice stern. Jessica, Kevin told us everything. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed too, I said. It took me 8 years to stand up for myself. Those kids have parents who chose an inappropriate party over childcare I arranged. Ryan's bad planning isn't my emergency. Mom had no response. That was 6 months ago. Ryan hasn't asked me to babysit for Halloween or any holiday since. At first, I feared I'd broken our relationship. But then, something shifted. Without assuming I'd always be free, Ryan started asking for help respectfully, offering payment or favors in return. Sarah admitted the night was a wake-up call. They'd taken my kindness for granted, and their kids paid the price. This Halloween, Lucas and I are throwing our own party, friends, spooky decor, costume contests, and horror movie marathons. October 31st is mine again. Ryan and Sarah are staying home, taking the kids trick-or-treating and watching movies as a family. Lily sent me a photo of their pumpkins with a text. We miss Halloween with Aunt Jess, but Mom and Dad are making it fun too. That meant more than any apology. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't loud or dramatic. It's refusing to be taken for granted. It's knowing your time has value, your joy matters, and saying no to one thing means saying yes to something better. I learned the scariest monsters aren't in costumes. They're the family who assume they own your life because you never showed them otherwise. And the sweetest treat, the moment you stop giving pieces of yourself to people who never say thank you. If this resonates, you're not alone. Many of us have family who mistake kindness for weakness. Share a story in the comments about a time you stood up to someone taking advantage of you. I read every one.